Yes, I'm back. It's been 3 weeks. I don't really care at this point. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna do a interrogation for the demogorgon. The demogorgon is a killer that has originated from the show called Stranger Things, and I don't know if that show's still going on, and I don't really care. But the killer, yeah, it originated from that. It's like one of the main antagonists, but yeah, it's a pretty good show. I've only seen like 2 seasons, but yeah, that's basically it. I don't really need to get into his backstory. I don't know much of it, and basically most of his backstory is from the show. So if I were you, just go watch the show. And this is not a sponsor. I don't get paid for this. All right, into his power. He has a power called Into the Abyss. Into the Abyss is where they give you like 5 or 6 teleporters, and you can teleport them in any part of the map or in the trial. And what this does is that you can teleport them to anywhere and anywhere you want, and just mostly anywhere. So yeah, basically that's you can increase its power by add-ons, and that's basically it. That's all you get. That's all it is. Basically teleporting. But now let's get on to his second power. He has a second power called Shred, and it basically like a big ass lunge. It's where if you hold right click, he would make a weird animation where he breaks his wrist and puts his hands upside down. And when you let go of it, when he's done hissing or when it's fully charged, you can release it and it goes into like a long ass charge. This power is good for chases, good for mid to long range, and yeah, it's basically good to easily get a kill and easily get it down. So yeah, Shredder is really fun to use, and yeah, let's get on to his add-ons. I'm only gonna talk about 2 specific ones because those are the only ones I mainly use for the Demogorgon, and plus most of his other add-ons is shred recovery, teleportation speed, destroying. There's one add-on where it destroys a teleporter, but in return you get blood points. So yeah, that's basically all most of his add-ons do. They give it effect or increase your power or your shred. But I'm gonna talk about his iridescent add-ons because those are the most fun and overpowered ones to use as Demogorgon. Both of his add-ons are his iridescent add-ons. Most by themselves are pretty like mid, but together, they're strong. They're strong as hell to use and really fun to play as, to be honest. Because the one on the right, the bush one, the one that looks like wheat and all that. When you teleport, you're undetectable for 6 seconds after you come out of it. And I'm gonna tell you why, and that's like really strong with these two perks because the other perk on the right, I mean on the left, the add-on on the left is where you can see them. You can see survivors for like when you're teleporting, you can see survivors, and when you come out of it, you can see them for like an additional 3 seconds. So you know how this would play out. You would teleport with these two add-ons equipped. You can teleport, see them with the teleporter, and see the auroras. When you come out, you have 3 seconds to see them, and you still have additional 3 seconds to be undetectable and actually catch them by surprise. So you see how these two perks would correlate to each other. By themselves, they're mid, but together, they're strong. I've only lost like 2 or 3 times as Demogorgon uses these, but most of the time you would like be really good as with these add-ons. So we have his 3 teachable perks, which is my head hurts. We're all locked in here, and broken generators. The top left one is meh for only stalking killers. Basically, anytime you get off a generator, which is 50% or less, you do the exhausted effect, and that doesn't really work that much. Only works for stealthy killers, it only lasts like a couple of seconds, and you would barely even get a hit in or anything at all. So yeah, I wouldn't never run it. His top middle one is mid as well. All it does is that after a base attack, any like windows nearby in a certain radius will be blocked off. Which yeah, I get it. It gives them less options to escape and more chances for you to hit them. But now in the new days of pallets, looping, and dead hard, there's basically more windows aren't like the only thing to block killers. So yeah, the middle perk I wouldn't really run it either. Surge, which is a top right perk, and that's basically the only perk I know because that perk, when you hit a survivor or like down them, it damage any generator nearby where you down the survivor. Which yeah, it's pretty good, but it's but yeah, I ain't that really. But since we have Hex, Ruin, and like Pop Goes the Weasel, there's more choices than this. Sorry. All right, now time for the recommended perks. I'm gonna show you the perks that I run for him, and I'm gonna show you the ones I'm gonna recommend. I run Corrupt Intervention, Nurse's Calling, Barbecue and Chili, and Agitation. The reason why I run a Corrupt Intervention is because it gives you time to set up portals, and it gives you time to scout out the map and find out where survivors are. And yeah, that's basically the only reason why I run Corrupt Intervention. Agitation is where you take a survivor faster, and you basically just go faster when you're carrying a survivor. The reason why I picked this is because I would down a survivor, take him to a hook, and really fast. I'll take him to a hook really fast, and then just go in a portal and down another survivor. That's basically the only reason why. I would run Nurse's Calling for two reasons: know the location and or readings. Because if you combine this with these two ultra rare add-ons, you can just find survivors anytime. Any time of the map, you will just see them anywhere, even though they're healing. I don't know. I just like this perk. It's fun to use, and it's pretty helpful when you need it. Barbecue and chili is also another perk I like for two reasons. Actually, have three reasons. Extra blood points easily. The aura readings, and I can just teleport to any portal near the survivor that shows the his aura or where they are. Yeah, these perks are really fun to use, but I'm gonna recommend two perk setups. And yeah, I might get hate for this, but uh, I like playing killer so tough. This perk setup is not as good. Corrupt Intervention, Hex Undying, Hex Run, and Barbecue and Chili. That slows the game down so you can set up portals and down survivors and basically win the game. But if you really be really toxic, let me show you. I would bring Pop Goes the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, Hex Ruin, and Barbecue and Chili. The reason why is I'll bring Pop Goes the Weasel instead of Hex Undying is because it regresses 25%, which is a lot. And if at the backup, if Hex Ruin like dies, which 90% of the time it will. So yeah, you got a backup and all that, and yeah, that's basically it. But here's a toxic one. It's mostly similar, but I'm only changing one perk. I would bring Barbecue and Chili, Hex Ruin, Pop Goes Weasel, and Noed. Yeah. Oh shit! I dropped my phone. My bad. But yeah, those perks would slow the game down fast and make the end game really annoying for the survivors. So yeah, if I can't have fun, so can't you. But if you want to, if that doesn't slow down your game even more, then just get rid of Barbecue and Chili and put Corrupt Intervention. That would slow the game down even more. So yeah, the reason why I'm mentioning slowing down perks because you need to take time to. I played Demogorgon. He was like my first main and the first killer I ever prestiged, besides the Oni. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know how to do this, and yeah. Demogorgon's a fun character. He's balanced, and yeah, he's just really fun to play overall. I like him, and I might play him more in the future. There's not gonna be a more because there's YouTube. You can just look it up. And I was too lazy to get the footage, and yeah, and I didn't want to grind for blood points and get one more off. So yeah, that's basically it. Next video might be another killer, probably, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. See ya.